These are with tile dimensions. Overrides the default assumption for tile size. It's needed for raw initial. If you have large font size, you pick one to try and determine what dimensions you want to use when figuring out your window size. This method is used to override that assumption. It's a great idea to use this when using multiple layers and fonts. Okay. With tile dimensions 816. Oh, there we go. That looks a lot better. So that was weird. So putting this here was insufficient. We have to actually tell it the tile dimensions of the font that we're using. So let's go back to terminal 10 by 16. Oops, and then change this to 10 by 16. Look at that. Okay. That's kind of a cool font though. I'll take it. We should also be able to, oh wow, 50 high is very tall in my universe. And reduce the size a little bit. We'll still be able to have a console here, right? Okay. Yeah, okay, so I think we got to the point where we actually can have these resources embedded. Now the question is, okay, let me commit these changes. Oops. Export editor. Goes to nvim. Basic font working. Show head. Yeah, okay, so we have this working. Let's see if we can mess around with it now. I want to put resources here, not under source. And I don't think I can do that. Although it just flashed and it reran, but I think it's because we didn't rebuild. Right? So we can't embed the resource this way, but maybe we can do this here and here, and then here and here. And this is what failed for us last time, right? Yeah. Yeah, so we can't... Because it's going to be basing it off of... Oh, not just the resources. Because Musean said that it's basing it off of the resource path. So yeah. Oh, is there a way to specify the resource path? Oh yeah, with resource path. Okay. Let's try that. Ah, there we go. All right. Okay, so this is just add resources and source. This thing it deleted. Oh, because I didn't do a git move. Okay, that's okay. I don't care. Git commit dash m. Oh yeah, it got renamed. Okay, good. Move resources to top level directory. Okay. Now with all that, how do we make a roguelike? All right, we got something working here. Maybe we make this. We can make it like 100 by 30 or something, just so it fits on the screen better. Oh, Oh, really? Really? Huh. I thought I was changing the console dimensions here. But the console dimensions didn't change. It just made it squishier instead of... So if I change this back, if I change it to 80 by 50, it should look correct. It won't be all distorted, right? If I change this to 80 by 25, it just makes the thing taller, but it keeps this the same size. And this is at 100%. Okay, now I'm confused in a different way. I thought this would be the number of tiles we had. Right? We are setting the tile size, and I thought that was the size of the tile of the... Oh, there's path join right there at the bottom. That's cute. Fancy console. Sparse console, simple 8x8. Simple console. Here's the fonts, here's the resource paths. Not worried about the title. Here's tile height and tile width. But is there some other thing that says the width of... Console dimensions determined by console width times tile width and console height times tile height. Says Mosaic. So if I have a console width of 80 and a tile width of 10, it should be 800 pixels wide. So if I change this to 100, right, it should make this wider this way, and it's not. It's just squishing the font so that we can get 100 across. If I change it back to 80, it'll stretch the font out, or it'll make the font the normal dimensions. Is there something else? All right. This doesn't work, right? This is failing to build, this is failing to load, yeah. So even if I pass in this resources, we don't have the font defined in here, so it's not added, maybe? And if I say with font, it pushes this in, but it doesn't have it in the fonts. When we call build, it fails here. And even if I do this, it won't work, right? Yeah. So the only way I can get my font in there is using this with simple console. But that doesn't give me the right dimensions. And this is weird looking because it's supposed to be an 8x8 font that we're playing with. And now it looks normal, but now it's twice as big, right? Which is kind of annoying. So maybe but if I make this like say 20 by 15, Is there a way I can... So it's doing it. It's just making this thing really weird, right? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, right? We can make it... We can print out 20 by 15, right? ctx.print 0, 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Right? That'll be the 20. And then for row in 1 to 15. CTX print. Ooh, I don't know which one's row and which one's column. Let's try it like this. And let's just put it in, oh, I can't do it that way, right? I have to format it. Okay, what does that look like? Okay, 13, 14, yeah. So there's 0 through 14. And what's happening is it's saying, okay, well, the physical dimensions are this big, so therefore we're going to make the font ginormous. But how is it determining this, right? Because if I change this to let's say, const height, 832 is 10. Let's just change this here and change this here. Yeah, see, it stretches to make it this tall. Why does it need to be this specific height, though? Does the font look correct at 8 by 8? Let's find out. I think this tells bracket lib how to read the font file, the bitmap, because it's just a bitmap, right? So it's just trying to, yeah. So everything gets offset incorrectly. If I change this to 8 by 8, yeah, that doesn't look right either. I think this is what you're suggesting here, 100 by 30 here, and then 8 for the tile dimensions. The problem is the tile dimensions are 10 by 16. I mean the font tiles are 10 by 16. Musayan says, interesting, this is a fascinating crate of surprises. Yeah, so there's something fundamental I'm misunderstanding about how the bracket lib determines how to display a given font. And maybe there's something else besides tile dimension. Maybe font has some other interesting feature that we're missing. VSync full screen platform specific FPS cap, advanced input, automatic console resize. Enable resize changing console size rather than scaling. Native OpenGL only. Okay. Register a sprite sheet and then build. All right. So I would like to use this bracket lib because that's what we did for our original roguelike, but this is becoming painful. If I switch this back to 80 by 50, that looks terrible because the tile dimensions are all wrong. So this has to be 10 by 16. Yeah, and now it's too high. It's too big. So this is a weird limitation from my point of view, that it won't let you do a What's the math here? 50 divided by 8. 6 1/4 for each one. So I guess it's the multiples of 6 1/4 that gets you the things, right? So if I say 25 divided by 6.25, we get 4. Right? And 6 and then 50 divided by 6.25 is 8, right? So the question is there an integer for something between that? And there isn't, right? Because it's going to be, this is 31.25, this is 37.5, that's 43.75, and then you get to a whole number again. Oops, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So you can get to 75. If you use 12 here, you can put 75 here. Yeah, okay. So I understand where things are going. I just think that there's some sort of a limitation on the way the scaling works, that I can't just make an arbitrarily sized screen. So I think we're left with this. We'll use cheaper, because actually, you know what? Why don't we do that? I bet you there's a I don't see. Oh, here it is. Oh no, it's not quite it. It's similar, but it's not the same thing. Oh, how about Apple 2? Apple 2. Oh. Is that, I think, because I think that's square also, isn't it? No, these aren't square, are they? Oh, they're 8x16s. No, yeah, okay. So what I need to do, I know the pet one is 8x8 because I've played with those before. Let's say 8x8. And I don't know what the Apple one is. It almost kind of looks 8x8. I mean, if you just look at the dots. Oh, this is the narrow version of it. Okay. No, I don't know. Okay. Ooh. Okay, yeah, this is similar to, I mean, it's not quite the right thing. This is just this is a font. But it'd be nice to have like a .bmp for it. Oh, look at those. Those are cute. Yeah. I mean, these are the right graph. This row here, not this thing. That's not part of it, but these guys are. And we'd need the a bitmap of it, right? So I'd have to convert TTF into a code page 437 bitmap. I don't know if you can do that. TTF to code page 437 BMP. Ultimate old school PC font pack. Ooh. Yeah, so we need the code page 437 thing, but this is kind of neat the way they did the scroll bar. And they're really dedicated to their art here. Okay. All right. I've been streaming for 2.5 hours, which is way past my normal stream time. I'm going to push this change just as a something we have working kind of thing. say this here, use trunk serve to get started. Get add readme. That good. Get add. Oh, that's right. I changed index and then resources. Musean says, I really enjoy the aesthetic of that site. Yeah, I mean, they definitely went all in on making it look like a DOS. And you right down to these characters here for the bullets, and this kind of thing where they use this is very old school, putting the square brackets around the options. Oh, text mode format. Oh, look at that. Aha. I bet you this is all done with CSS, right? Oh, you can turn it off and have, okay, very neat. That, yeah, they're very dedicated to the int 10h. I forget what that interrupt was. Maybe that's print. Playing around with fonts. Okay, so that's that. Tomorrow, I think maybe I want to keep playing around with this, just trying to get a map working that we can move around in. I think that would be a good first step. Maybe we can also pick a different dimension. Maybe we'll do the 80 by 25 and make it so you can actually see what's going on here, because this is very, very tiny to read, especially on a stream. So we'll make it a lot bigger by doing an 80 by 25 and or maybe even a 40 by 25 would be good.